Hello everyone, and welcome to the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I'm Dean, the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel, and also the host of the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 11 from the Unmasking the Narcissist series, and this is going to be part 2 of episode 11, the title of which is The Narcissist Blocking and Unblocking Behavior. So in part 1 of the episode, we went into some of the reasons why the narcissist actually demonstrates this blocking and unblocking behavior that they do. And in part 2 here, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining to you some examples of this that happened to me personally with some of the people that I was dealing with. Now, I'd like to explain here quickly because I'm going to be using the examples of several different individuals that I was dealing with. One of them I have been in a personal romantic relationship with. Another one was the example of a person who actually appeared as a member of my N.A.R.C.N network, but before that, they were actually friends with me on my Facebook page for a number of years, even though I had not personally talked to them in messenger form or had any communication with them before the time that I started dealing with them, not only on the N.A.R.C.N network, because they were having some dialogue with me about a person they were dealing with that was supposedly a narcissist, but before that I had not dealt with them at all on Facebook, apart from them just being friends with me on my Facebook page. But they were also friends with me and with several of my other musician friends on Facebook as well too, who also knew this person. So we're going to get right into some of the things that went on, because we're going to talk here about some of the examples of when you might be dealing with a person who's a narcissist dealing with you with this blocking and unblocking behavior. Now, I just want to make clear here to you guys out here that the individuals that I'm going to talk about in this particular part 2 episode, I don't know absolutely for sure if they are diagnosed narcissists. I can suspect that they are because I have studied them for some period of time, and I have my own personal experiences with them, which I'll be explaining to you here briefly, some of the things that happened with them. Now, they may or may not have demonstrated NPD on various levels. They have perhaps some of the characteristics of NPD sufferers, but again, they are not diagnosed narcissists. They have not been professionally diagnosed. I am not professionally diagnosing them either as well, because I am not a professional. I have no PhDs or anything in narcissism or in psychology myself, although I have studied psychology for the past 30 years. I've studied basic psychology, I've studied criminal psychology, and recently, over the past couple of years, I have been studying again not only narcissistic abuse psychology, but all the other things that go along with this, and all of the related disorders to do with narcissism and with people who have NPD. So again, I am not a professional making an assessment here on these people. This is an observation based on my experience with them and based on the psychological knowledge that I have, or the psychoanalytical knowledge that I possess from my 30 years of studying psychology. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples here of what I dealt with. So I have a person that I was romantically involved with back around 2011, between 2011 and 2016. Now, when I ceased being involved with this person, when I was involved with this person, by the way, there was some stuff going on with this person that they were doing behind my back. They were involved with somebody else for the entire, almost on and off the entire 5.5 years that I was with them, and I was unaware of this for some period of time, but then became aware of it and dealt with that situation with them accordingly. I actually broke up with them at one point for a period of time, and then I got back together with them after we had discussed what had been going on, only to realize the further I went on that this person may actually be a narcissistic personality disorder sufferer, and I have since done a lot of investigation into this person as well. So when I actually split up with this person, one of the things that they did with me during that period of time, and I must say here that they had become romantically involved with another person, I guess, if this person did indeed have narcissistic personality disorder, This person was another person that they became involved with. This other person they became involved with, they're claiming caused them to do some things with me where they displayed behavior, this blocking and unblocking behavior. And they did this back and forth with me over a period of about 18 months, for the first 18 months that myself and this person had broken up. So I was not able to get a hold of them a lot of the time. I was friends with them on Facebook, then I wasn't friends with them on Facebook, then I would speak to them, they would re-add me on Facebook, then a short period of time after that they would unadd me on Facebook. And this went back and forth with this blocking and unblocking and friending and unfriending thing on or off 7 or 8 times for that first 18 months that this person and I had split up. Now, this behavior itself is what I would consider to be not necessarily normal. I never blocked them or unblocked them on Facebook ever for any particular reason. I think at one particular point I may have unfriended them because I just got sick and tired of their nonsense. But this is a behavior that a narcissist does. Now, when I confronted this particular person about this behavior, they didn't really have much dialogue with me. As it turns out, this person's son had a conversation with me where they said, oh, my mother wasn't really doing this. This was the fault of the individual, the male that she was with or had become involved with, and this person was basically doing stuff and unfriending you and friending you on their Facebook. Now, I've never spoken to this individual who was accused of being the culprit for this blocking and unblocking behavior. But as we know, this is a behavior that narcissists do. Narcissists of all levels do this with people. Now, I have the example that this person who I have been studying, I feel, demonstrates narcissistic personality disorder. They also demonstrate some level of bipolar disorder and histrionic disorder and anxiety disorder. And they have a number of things going on within their psychological makeup that could all contribute to their behavior. But the main behavior here they were doing was blocking and unblocking me for reasons I could not really understand, just inadvertently on and off on an almost bi-monthly basis for 18 months. Again, this is narcissistic personality disorder sufferer behavior. This is what an NPD person does. This is what a narcissist does. So again, I'm going by their behavior and what they were doing here and displaying this. And to this day, I don't have a real answer as to why this really occurred, apart from the fact that they may indeed be a narcissist and this is part of their behavior, or perhaps something was affecting them to cause them to do this as well. But as we know, when a narcissist is involved with other appliances later on, they will put you on and off of social media. They will friend you and unfriend you. They will block you and unblock you. And this is what was essentially going on at that particular time, on and off for that entire 18-month period. So I don't really know what the truth of the matter really is, because I've never been able to get a straight answer from anybody. I've not been able to get a straight answer from this person that I dealt with. I have no dialogue with the other person that they were involved with at the time, although I do suspect that that person was also problematic and could have been a contributor to this problem as well. So this is one example of what I went through in there, and something that you could look out for. Now, another example here is an individual that I covered in an episode back on the N.A.R.C.N network called There's a Fox in the Henhouse. This was actually episode 55. Now, this was a person that I was talking about earlier in this video who had been friends with me on Facebook for a number of years and friends with a number of my friends as well too. At one point, this person started to show some romantic interest towards me, or what I considered to be romantic interest towards me. We had dialogue on Facebook about what was going on in Messenger, and I actually spoke to this person in person on video a couple of times. And eventually this person, I had a conversation with this person where I asked them whether or not there was a more romantic interest towards me, and they kind of said that there was. But at this moment, depending on what was going on with that, I became a little suspicious, because this person's behavior was like that of a narcissist. And one of the things that they were doing is that at one point when they had been talking to me on and off for a while on Messenger, on the messenger service on Facebook, they unfriended me on Facebook. And at one point, they even, I believe, blocked me. And I spoke to them and said, why did you unfriend me? And they said, oh, this is something I did. This is not me. This is my ex-boyfriend has hacked my phone, and he's unfriended you on Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And then they didn't actually re-add me right away. It turns out that they added me a couple of days later. And then this happened again a short period of time afterwards. And this went back and forth a couple of times where they friended me and unfriended me. They used this excuse that the ex was hacking or messing with their phone and all this stuff. Now, as we know, it's not necessarily easy or that easy to necessarily hack a phone. You have to have some skills to do that. You have to have some skills to hack a Facebook page in order to do this. But as I became more aware with this person, I realized that this person was just messing with me like a narcissist, so I started to watch them more carefully and started to pay more attention to what they were doing. Now, in the end, to get to the point of this story is that at the end of my dealings with this person, I realized that this person was just being a narcissist with me, because somebody who they were involved with around them, where they live in the States, posted something on their Facebook page, and at that point I became perfectly aware that they were involved with somebody else over there. Now, this person and I at this time weren't romantically involved in that way. There was an interest that this girl had expressed to me in becoming involved with me, possibly, like this, but we were not involved in that way. But nevertheless, this person suddenly had evidence on their page that they were currently involved with somebody else, even though they were actually romantically kind of grooming me to become involved with them slowly. So, of course, that made me completely aware. So, again, that's another example here of going through a blocking and unblocking thing where the narcissist blocks you because they don't want you to see stuff. So I became aware at that point when this person did that they were just blocking me and unblocking me, or friending me and unfriending me, so I couldn't see stuff that was going on their page. They did have a lot of other males on their Facebook page heart-liking their posts and stuff, and of course I paid very close attention to that because having studied narcissistic abuse and having studied all the things related to this, these are things that I have become trained to watch for over the past number of years, because I dealt with this with other individuals who had done this with me as well too. So it was immediately a red flag, and I watched this. But in this instance, I had a solid example that this person now was involved with somebody else, even though they had expressed a romantic interest with me, and they were doing a reasonable amount of stuff to kind of like love bomb me a little bit too on my social media. And that's basically what was going on. But when I became aware of this, and now that I was now aware of what they were doing with their blocking and unblocking tactics, I was able to deal with them in an appropriate way and figure out what they were really doing, and that they may indeed be a narcissist as well too, because they were displaying a lot of narcissistic things as well too, even though they were giving me a whole bunch of associated stories about what was going on, which all seemed to me to be a bunch of crap basically in the end anyway. So these are just two examples of some of the things that that went on. I just wanted to present some examples to you guys where you could see some other ulterior things that went on in this with other people who do this blocking and unblocking action. So this is just an action that narcissists do. Blocking and unblocking is to control what you can see and can't see with them, to keep you under control, and this is what they do. So this has been the basic ideas I wanted to present with you in the examples in part 2. I'm going to say to you guys, stay tuned. I've got a lot new content coming up in the Unmasking the Narcissist channel and also on the N.A.R.C.N network. You know, stay tuned for some of those episodes coming up. I'm going to say to you guys, hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you really soon with some new content. And, you know, please stay tuned to my network. I love to have you guys here, and hopefully together we'll learn some stuff about narcissism. Have a great day.